Good morning, people of YouTube, and welcome to Craston D's Top 10. Now, this is just a little segment where I go over my top 10 favourite things of a certain thing, like, well, if you've read the title, Top 10 Spartacus characters. Spartacus is an awesome show. Go watch it. Okay? This will contain spoilers, so just go watch it or something, because... Okay, so I'm basically just going to go over my top 10 favourite Spartacus characters. Top 10 favourite Spartacus characters. Number 10, Asher. Why is Asher in number 10? Why is Asher the 10th most liked person? Well, he is evil. I'll give him that. He is definitely evil. He is one of the bad guys. He is a horrible guy. He stabs people in the back. He betrays his friends, and he actually raped someone. But he didn't do it because he's evil. He's evil because he wasn't treated with very much respect. He was pretty much the bottom of the looters, and he had no reason to be the bottom of the looters. He was just treated like shit by everyone, including his friend Crixus. Asher's just a result of bullying, you know. If you bully someone, they will eventually become the bad guy because, you know, you fuck their mind up. Okay, enough about Asher. Time for number 9, Mira. Now, the thing with Mira is, she's okay. The reason why she's number 9 is because she's technically... I like her because she's a good person. I like her more than I do like Asher. She's also a bit ditzy and stupid and something like... She tried to suffocate Alethea when she was being captured under Spartacus, and it was against Spartacus' orders. You know, she couldn't just wait for Spartacus to actually say what he wants to do with her. She thought she would make the decision for him, which resulted in her losing Spartacus. So, her fault there. Unfortunately, she does die, and it was actually a really very sad scene. And although it did give them, her death did actually give them a chance to figure out a way around the mountain for Vesuvius, the mountain they were stuck on when Glaber invaded. Number 8, Animaeus.
Animaeus!
Fucking love this guy. Played by Peter Mensa, the black guy from 300, you know, the one who gets kicked off the edge. That's Animaeus. You can sort of like, you can see a bit of Spartacus in him, really, can't you? Yeah, Animaeus is a good guy. He seems mean, but nah, he's actually genuinely an alright guy. He does eventually join Spartacus in the fight, but not after he sorts out some emotional issues with himself. He has to go back to where he started with the gladiator fighting, and he gets captured and pisses off Asher, which is quite funny. Okay, that's it with Animaeus. Great character on my top 10 list. Next up, Crassus. Marcus fucking Crassus. This guy, I know he's the bad guy, which is why I shouldn't like him. But he is just so smart, you know. He doesn't underestimate his enemy. He anticipates them, makes them seem more powerful than he is, so that he can outmaneuver them, which he does to Spartacus. He does outmaneuver Spartacus, which actually happened in the true story, actually. But Crassus actually shows some respect for his enemy. He acknowledges that he might be the villain of this story, but he's okay with it because he thinks he isn't the villain of the story. He says, and I quote, he says,
Each believes himself the hero, the other villain. It is for history to decide who is mistaken.
Yeah, Crassus is awesome guy. He is a bit biased with his soldiers, though, I would say. He favours his son just because he's his son over Caesar. One thing I didn't like about Crassus was the fact that his punishments were harsh. With the decimation episode where he forces his men to brutally beat each other to death because they retreated from a fight, I didn't care about that because, well, they're fucking Romans. I'm not supposed to care, but I think the whole crucifixion thing was a bit... He seems to enjoy it too much. Like Caesar as well, they both seem to enjoy watching people being crucified, which kind of pissed me off Crassus a bit. Otherwise, if it wasn't for the crucifixion part, he would have been way up on my list. Yeah, it's all about Crassus. Number 6, Agron.
Well, the Gaul's not fucking bad enough.
This guy is one loyal bastard. He follows Spartacus wherever he goes. Whatever his orders are, he will follow them till death. even if he doesn't agree with them. He does split away from Spartacus near the end when Crixus decided to split away, but that's because it was his calling. He doesn't want to leave the country and just be a shepherd or whatever. He's a born warrior. He needs to fight, so that's why he left. And by the way, spoilers. And it is nice to see that there is one main character, one gladiator from the Ludus who escaped that managed to survive in the end. Spoilers, most of them die. Especially all the gladiators from the Ludus. Most of them are pretty much dead. Especially after Vengeance. There was only like a few near the end of Vengeance that survived, but they eventually built up their army and had lots more soldiers, and I think it was then only Agron, Gannicus, Crixus and Sparticus that were actually from the Ludus. So yeah, Agron, great fucking guy, very loyal. Number 6. D9. Number 5. Quintus Lentulus Batiatus. How can you think that face is fucking good? I mean, he fucking like laughs. You don't laugh. But yeah, I like the guy. But I love the guy. That's why he's higher up on my list than most people. He has desire for power. He does want to be. He strives to be good and better in life, but fortunately that does come at the cost of anyone who gets in his way. And unfortunately for him, he got in Spartacus's way in, yeah, let's just say his throat doesn't come out in one piece. Yeah. Alright, number 4. We all knew this was coming. Alethea. Fucking love this girl, and it's not just because of that nude scene that she was in. She is actually pretty devious. You may think that she is a dumb blonde who just giggles all the time. That's what she comes out as across. But trust me, if you watch the show, she is a devious fucking cow. She works out who Spartacus' best friend is, then seduces the magistrate's son in order to have Varro killed to hurt Spartacus. Fucking devious. And when her husband finds out about that she killed Crassus's cousin, she's then left to serve under the House of Batiatus, and they didn't exactly treat her nicely. They were pretty arrogant and stuff. So obviously she built up a hatred for them, and when the gladiators revolted and started slaughtering all the Romans, what does Alethea do? She's told to go gather her men. She gathers her men, they lock the doors, and she walks away. I mean, guys, just look at that face. That is the face of someone who knows what they're fucking doing. She doesn't really do much in Vengeance, but in Blood and Sand she does a fuckload. In Vengeance she's more sort of, it's more sort of the power shifting between her and her husband, and that, well, at the very start he appears to have more power, but he's sort of nulled slightly by her father. Yeah, obviously Glaber then has to kill her husband so he cannot destroy the marriage, and then he gains most of the power through the rest of the series until they eventually make up and start fucking. Alethea, fucking devious cow, great knockers, and she is my number 4. Number 3, Crixus. How can this guy not be at least in the top 3? I mean, come on, he's in pretty much nearly every episode. He's not in the last 2. You go through so much with this guy, especially through Blood and Sand. His hatred for Asher, his friendship with Barca, his hatred for Spartacus. I mean, this guy really hated Spartacus. He joins the revolt as like the second man. Great, especially seeing that moment when he realizes that Spartacus is right. When you're first watching it, it's fucking great. It's just that one face that he makes. He's just like... And I'm watching the brutality of that episode, especially in the end, but you don't expect it. If you've never heard of the true Spartacus story, you would not expect that to happen at the end. You really wouldn't. How can you not like Crixus? He's been with you the whole way through. Unfortunately, he does get killed off. 3rd to last episode. He has to, which did happen in the true stories. Yeah, he breaks away with a few troops to try and attack Rome because, you know, that's why he joined. He joined to attack Rome, not to save refugees. So he pretty much wins every single battle until he gets the very final battle, which is Rome itself. And then Marcus Crassus comes and kills them all off. Yeah. Great guy. He's my number 3. Now, number 2,
Caesar!
Gaius Julius Caesar, Roman badass. He does what he can, try and take down Spartacus. He's even willing to pose as a slave, go into the ranks and look at what they're doing, pretend to be their friends, and then near the end, stab them in the back. I mean, the things this guy's willing to do. But yeah, it's just that fucking face. He's just like, yeah. You know, I'm gonna do that, yeah. Yeah, Caesar is fucking good character. He is. I would have voted for him to be consul 20 years later. I would have definitely voted for this guy. He's a freaking legend. Real character as well. Probably, yeah, it was the first emperor of Rome, for God's sake. Was assassinated by Brutus. Real guy. In this, he's just a badass character who's extremely likable. Apart from the whole crucifying Agron thing, I don't really... That does put me off him, but... Apart from that, fucking love the guy. Now, it's time for my number 1. Who is going to be my number 1 character in Spartacus? Most of you probably are already guessing who my number 1 favourite is. If you've seen the show, you probably are guessing anyway. My number 1 favourite is Gannicus. Why do I like Gannicus so much? Because he's so relaxed about everything. Well, he's not relaxed per se. He's just enjoying being there. He's not always enjoying it. When he sees the girl that he had a slight thing for in the brothel crucified, he fucking flipped. Well, he didn't flip. He did flip. He kidnapped Alithia. I call that flipping. He doesn't believe in Spartacus's cause, but he joins it for Animeus' sake. They are old friends, so, you know. What's the damn though? He's a lot more... Well, let's just say he does love women. Yeah, nude scenes. When he's not fighting, he's fucking. And he did have one of the saddest endings. He is basically Caesar's opposite. That's why I really could not decide between these people in the first place. I really couldn't. Caesar is militant, he's organised, and uses mind to move his troops into positions and stuff, you know, strategy, whilst Gannicus is mostly just savage. He's quick, probably is better in a fight. He's basically just a savage. But unfortunately, Gannicus does face a fate far worse than death. He gets crucified. Go watch the show. Start from Blood Sand, work your way up. By Gods of the Arena is a prequel, so just bear that in mind. I suppose you're probably wondering, why didn't you put Spartacus on this list? Well, I didn't put Spartacus on this list because he doesn't really need to be on this list. Spartacus will always be the best character. Not on my list, but he is pretty much... He's a legend in itself. You can't just put... It'd be cheating to put him on the list. But he would have cheated. The real hero Spartacus did do all these things. He is a legend. Is someone we should take notice of and study. Spartacus, you didn't need the build-up. You knew he was a badass. I should probably address this. The main actor who played Spartacus from Blood and Sand unfortunately did suffer from cancer and pass away. And they did have to replace him with a pretty good actor, Liam McIntyre. He did a pretty good Spartacus, but Andy Whitfield did pass away, unfortunately. But yeah, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate all the help. And I definitely appreciate the love I receive for making these videos. I do. And yeah, just enjoy yourself. Good night and sweet dreams.
Not be fucked, you fucking cock sucking, you fucking hemorrhoid sucking fuck, you fuck!